The phone call from the hospital came at 4:00 a.m., a brutal, sterile interruption to the quiet grief I'd been living in. The doctor on the other end delivered the news with clinical detachment. Sarah my ex-wife and the mother of my only child, had passed away alone, quietly, in her hospice room. It was expected, of course. Her cancer had been aggressively terminal for months. But what was not expected, what landed like a cold, iron fist in my gut, was the single horrific fact that haunted the moment of her death. Our daughter, Emily 24, was 3,000 miles away in Paris on a non-refundable, luxury finding myself trip she'd planned with her new fiancé, Ethan 27. Sarah had begged her to postpone the trip. I had pleaded with her to wait just one more week. Sarah was lucid enough to understand that Emily chose a gourmet cooking class in the Latin Quarter over saying goodbye to her dying mother. When I called Emily, waking her up in her chic Parisian hotel, her first response was not grief, but cold, self-centered panic. What about my flight home? Is my travel insurance going to cover this? She never asked about Sarah's final moments. She asked about the cost of a last-minute ticket. That call, cold and devoid of any human empathy, was the moment I realized the privileged, self-obsessed monster my daughter had become. A monster shaped by years of entitlement and fueled by her controlling, equally self-absorbed fiancé. Sarah died alone because Emily valued a European vacation over her mother's last breath. Sarah had planned to leave Emily her entire estate, a beautiful, paid-off vacation cottage on the coast, worth approximately $700,000, plus a substantial portfolio. I was the executor of the estate. Was I wrong to use my power as executor to rewrite the legacy completely, ensuring the daughter who abandoned her mother in her final hour received nothing? Or was that act of final, painful justice the only way to honor Sarah's memory? Tell me, if your child chose a luxury trip over a dying parent, would you give them the inheritance? Or would you ensure the inheritance went to someone who actually showed love and loyalty? My name is Thomas 60, a retired finance manager. Sarah and I divorced amicably 15 years ago, but we remained close friends and co-parents, united in our love for Emily. Or rather, our love for the Emily we hoped she would become. Sarah was a kind, generous woman, a retired nurse who dedicated her life to caring for others, and her greatest joy was the coastal cottage, a place filled with happy family memories. The rot started about 3 years ago when Emily met Ethan. Ethan is a trust fund kid who manages to spend more money than he earns, and his influence over Emily was toxic. He convinced her that anything short of a perfect, wealthy life was beneath her. He encouraged her to drop out of graduate school, max out her credit cards, and treat us like ATM. When Sarah was diagnosed a year ago, everything changed, except for Emily and Ethan's sense of entitlement. Sarah's illness was rapid, moving from diagnosis to hospice in 6 months. The doctor was clear. Time was limited, perhaps weeks. Sarah's dying wish was simple. She wanted Emily by her side during the final phase. She wanted to tell her daughter goodbye, to pass on her love and her few cherished possessions personally. The cottage was the main issue. Sarah had drafted a will years ago, naming Emily as the sole beneficiary of the cottage and the portfolio. However, Sarah had appointed me as the sole executor **, and had given me a signed, explicit *** letter of instruction ** 2 weeks before she died, giving me broad, but specified, discretionary power over the final distribution **, if * Emily failed to visit her in the final, critical period. Sarah knew how unreliable Emily was and wanted a contingency against abandonment. The week before Emily left for Paris, Sarah was barely lucid. I called Emily myself. "Emily, your mother is fading fast. The doctor says days, not weeks. Please, reschedule your flight. You can always go to Paris, but you only have one mother." Emily whined about the non-refundable cooking class deposit. Ethan was in the background, coaching her. "Tell him you need this mental break, Emily. The stress of the illness has been too much." She left. They took off on a Friday. Sarah passed on the following Monday morning, alone. The moment of Sarah's death, when Emily showed her true, callous colors on the phone, activated the letter of instruction. Sarah had left me a solemn, painful duty. ***, find a recipient who truly embodied the kindness and spirit of the cottage. ***, I immediately changed my flight from Paris to Florida, where Sarah's coastal cottage was located, and began the work of the executor. In the process of sorting through Sarah's final affairs, I discovered the person who did stay, the person who exemplified loyalty and selfless love. Mrs. Henderson **, 75, Sarah's long-time hospice roommate, who was also terminal but lucid. Mrs. Henderson and Sarah had become incredibly close in the last month. Mrs. Henderson had no family. Her life had been one of quiet service. When Sarah's strength failed, Mrs. Henderson was there talking to her, holding her hand, and yes, holding her hand when she finally passed away. The hospice staff confirmed it. Mrs. Henderson was the one who saw Sarah through her final moments, not her daughter. So that's the situation I was in. I was the executor of Sarah's $700,000 estate. My daughter, Emily, had abandoned her dying mother for a luxury trip, validating Sarah's explicit fears outlined in the letter of instruction. I had the legal power to rewrite the will's distribution clause. I had found the perfect, selfless recipient in Mrs. Henderson, Sarah's loyal hospice roommate. Before I tell you about the shocking legal move I made and the devastating confrontation with Emily when she finally returned, I want you to pause and comment below what you would have done in my shoes. Would you have given the $700,000 cottage to the abandoning daughter, or would you have given it to the selfless stranger who held her mother's hand when she died? I chose the selfless stranger. Loyalty and love deserved the legacy, not betrayal and entitlement. I contacted Sarah's attorney. We used the ** letter of instruction **, detailing Emily's deliberate absence during the critical terminal phase, to trigger the discretionary clause. The clause allowed the executor to divert the specific property, the cottage, to a charity or a party who had provided extraordinary support and care to the deceased during the final period. Superseding the original beneficiary, the attorney drafted the new paperwork. The entire $700,000 coastal cottage, plus a small portion of the portfolio, was legally transferred to ** Mrs. Henderson's trust **, ensuring her final years would be spent in comfort and quiet beauty. Emily and Ethan arrived back a week later, exhausted but tanned, ready to claim their inheritance. They expected to find the keys to the cottage waiting for them. I met them at my house, a stark, neutral environment. Emily was dressed in expensive resort wear, her demeanor impatient. "Dad, enough with the dramatics," Emily said, tapping her foot. "Where are the papers for the cottage? We need to list it quickly. Ethan has a new investment opportunity. I sat her down and explained, with slow, deliberate precision, every single detail. I started with Sarah's last moments, how she looked, what she whispered, and how she died alone. Emily remained cold, rolling her eyes until I brought up the *** letter of instruction, ***. Your mother left me the power to decide who deserved the cottage, I said, placing the legal documents on the table. You chose a quas. Over your mother's last breath, Emily, you abandoned her, and your mother provided for that contingency. Ethan immediately grabbed the papers. This is illegal. The will names Emily. You can't just steal the property. I didn't steal it, Ethan. I corrected him calmly. I simply executed Sarah's final, explicit wishes. The cottage belongs to Mrs. Eleanor Henderson ***, who held Sarah's hand when she died. You abandoned her. Mrs. Henderson did not. The reaction was explosive. Emily screamed, dissolving into a tantrum I hadn't seen since she was 10, throwing things and accusing me of hating her. Ethan was livid, threatening lawsuits, claiming I was mentally incompetent. The lawsuit went nowhere. The letter of instruction was crystal clear, and the testimony from the hospice staff about Emily's calculated absence and Mrs. Henderson's continuous presence was irrefutable. The judge ruled decisively in favor of the estate's executor. Emily received the remaining small portion of the estate's portfolio, about $50,000, just enough for her and Ethan to pay off their immediate credit card debt, but nowhere near enough for a lavish investment. They lost the cottage, the grand asset they coveted, and the entire financial foundation for their entitled future. I visited Mrs. Henderson at the cottage a few weeks later. She was weak, but sitting on the porch, looking out at the ocean, tears streaming down her face. She was finally living her final days with peace, dignity, and beauty, a direct, deliberate reward for her genuine kindness. The cottage had found its rightful soul. Emily and Ethan's financial destruction was complete. I had lost a daughter, but I had honored my wife and saved her legacy from being squandered by greed. Like this video, if you believe inheritance should be earned through love, not entitlement. Subscribe for more stories where the executor delivers the ultimate justice. Share your final thoughts on Emily's Parisian trip in the comments section below. I'll see you all in the next story.